Okay, so in this video, I want to talk about FOMO and I want to prioritize FOMO and how to manage it in this video because we have a lot of reasons to do so. I'm going to go over them right now as well. We're going to talk about Mara stock as well as we talk about Bitcoin. And then on a following up video soon, I'm going to have MSTR on the charts for you guys because it's going up further into a resistance area. And it's not really a solid long, but I'm going to get into that in more detail soon. If you guys were on the Discord, you already know about a little swing trade I took. It was a simple trading round trip for a day trade. It was a one in, one out, a little over 300 profits, just because on BitU, but just because there was early morning momentum. If you guys were paying attention to the chart, it was just the micro supports within like minute candles were just too solid, so I just took it. It's not something I want to hold onto because I'm going to show you guys why right now and how this can translate into Mara stock, because the weakness in Mara stock right now, technically speaking, is prepping to balance out the current structures we've been looking at. So I want to cover that, but regardless, on the Discord today I also explained what this blue area was. But basically, the only significant correction, significant enough to use for a fib extension to the upside, was from the swing low up to this swing high down to this swing low, because this was the only, at least on the hourly candles that I like to pay attention to, this was the only corrective move that actually nicely filled a value gap right here, and it was the only move that actually broke into discount within the RSI. So giving that our attention, it gives us this area, and we had enough bullish momentum this morning, strong indication that we are going to break up into it. So that's why I took that trade. I got out early as the price was nearing the swing high, because at the same time, I also talked about this on the Discord, we are now entering this gap where we have two value gaps overlapping. The top of the range maxes out in this area, so the price can absolutely continue to rally. It absolutely can. But here's the thing, we have such an aggressive rally due to primarily macroeconomic factors, and at this point too, like, if this is highly influenced by the government shutdown and how investors are just shaking, brushing it off the shoulders, it could be a thing where when it's done, we can finally see that corrective move. But if you guys remember on a previous video, I did say because we broke into, and now we're well over this resistance area, and we're well over this swing high right here. We haven't actually broken past these value gaps, obviously, for this swing high, which is all-time high, but I do believe an all-time high is very, very near. But I am not being hyped. I'm not falling into FOMO because we broke past this resistance, but the price doesn't have to continue upward directly. It can absolutely have fluctuations within it, and what makes sense to me is continuing to follow the price higher with this support area, simple retracement from the low to the high of the structure. I'll remove this just to clean up the charts a little bit. We're quite far away from the 120 moving average, and you guys absolutely know how I feel about the price being so far away from the 120 moving average on the hourly candles. And we can still max out this area, but we are well within these value gaps. In the median of it, we're within this area. If we break up higher, cool. I do not currently have any short-term longs and no short-term shorts either. I am waiting for a proper retracement. I want to see the price come back down to the 120 moving average to bottom out the RSI before I open up another short-term, long position, a little bit of a swing trade, because I do expect our, I've been talking about this price level for such a long time, 128K, and because we broke over that yellow resistance I had there earlier, we're over this swing high. I mean, just the resistance alone is giving me confidence that we are going to hold a higher low and move up higher. I am not going to be too greedy when it comes to finding discounted prices within this area. The moment the price starts nearing the red and the RSI becomes quite discounted, I will begin to accumulate a new short-term long swing trade. I am not, there's a lot of momentum here breaking over this swing high. I mean, just breaking over this one and us finding support quite early within this value gap was incredibly bullish. Um, as the price goes up higher and broke over this one, I just, it's absolutely near that we're going to be breaking or at least retesting the swing high, all time high at just under 125K. So I'm not going to be like greedy with this, but I'm also not going to fall into FOMO, because even when there is a lot of hype in the market, even when there's a lot of bullish momentum, like you guys remember back here, like it looked like we were about to go up like crazy and get close to 200K. Like everyone was getting super excited, and then out of nowhere, corrective move. Now, obviously, I don't expect this one to be as as deep as this one. Um, but even when there's a lot of hype, we have corrective moves. There's a lot of hype, and out of nowhere, everything changes. This will be a little bit more of a smaller, not as aggressive correction in my opinion. But regardless, the moment we start seeing some red candles, you're gonna start seeing it in articles and a bunch of people freaking out and saying it's over. There's just no evidence telling me that it's over. I mean, we can easily have a 3 to 5% corrective move. Personally, again, like this is what I'm doing. Everything I say in this video is just what I'm doing. I like to share with you guys. Please do your own research and due diligence. But what I am personally going to be doing is I'm going to be taking advantage of accumulating some IBIT within this red area if we get the opportunity. If the price continues to go up higher, I am not interested in any longs unless we can break swing high. If we break over the swing high, I'm getting into some long positions because the momentum can easily bring us up and close out the gap to this 128K area and easily break the 128K area into the 30s. That's how I see it. But until that happens, I am not looking to buy. At the end of the day too, like what's the best way to trade? In my opinion, is waiting for confirmation, even if that means you're going to miss out on the entire rally. If you wait for confirmation, confidence is there. You're not just YOLOing trades. You're waiting for bullish confirmation, and you are getting in when it makes sense, right? Even if that means missing out a portion of a rally. And only, to me, my goal is, when it comes to short-term trading, is capturing portions of moves. I'm not trying to capture the whole move. I'm trying to capture portions, because I'd rather be confident with my trades than just being hopeful. And that is why I am not buying at these levels unless we get that bullish confirmation, or at least the momentum breaking the swing high. It can easily just push the price up higher. But because we're not there yet, and we are within this extension resistance, we are within value gap resistance, and the RSI hasn't, shown any actual like good discount levels, then I'm just not interested in opening a long swing trade right now, even though it's very likely that the price can continue up higher. If we have multiple levels of resistance, I'm not going to be hopeful and open trade. But I will let you guys know when I do. And as you already know, as of right now, with the price action we have, I'm looking to do that when the price gets near this red area. I want to start accumulating early and average it in, because it could trade within this area during closed market hours, and I want to buy IBIT. So I want to be early, and if we continue to trade here during market hours, then I'll add more to IBIT. If we can get a nice uptrend forming from there and break over the swing high, then I may add BitU to it. But I want to not be aggressive adding IBITs into our support area. I'm waiting for a decent buying opportunity. Just because the price is going up is not enough for me to want to buy. I do not fall into FOMO. I've grown out of that as a trader. I am more focused on, proper setups. I only want to capture portions of move and profit from portions. I am not trying to capture all of the move. It's just not the way to go. Okay, so regardless of Bitcoin continuing to trade higher, with Mara stock, what we have is price not showing as much bullishness as Mara, and I talked about this in previous videos, so I'm going to summarize it real quick though. There is a lot of pressure on Mara stock. There's a lot of, if you guys break down their numbers on all of their quarterly and monthly reports, we understand that there's a lot of different value when it comes to Mara and Bitcoin. That's why I don't correlate completely. And I kept saying in previous videos, I was looking for resistance here. I showed you guys a short trade that I got stopped out on. Stopped out at the top of this range at 18 bucks. And the reason, and I'm being so patient with this right now, is because due to market hype, well, we simply have premium prices being held. I am still looking for, and I mean, I'm still looking for the price to break $20 eventually, but I am not looking to get in aggressively right now on Mara because this is not holding due to any, company fundamentals. This is holding purely due to market external, elements holding it higher. Everything that's going on that you guys probably see a bunch of articles on. So right, I'm looking for weakness. I would not be surprised if we come back down because we were on our way there. Nvidia started pumping like crazy and it pumped the market, like everything pretty much in the market pumped up. So what I'm looking for is to test how healthy. So like on the 2 hour chart, it's a little bit more clear, but there's a nice value gap that overlaps with this supportive retracement area. So what I'm looking for, I mean, at this point is, and I'm not even gonna factor in the low, which is this, up to the high. I'm only factoring in this move from this low because this was way too aggressive. If there is enough bullish momentum, which I'm expecting Mara to break $20 eventually this bull cycle, but we're not done just yet. But when it comes to short term, like this stock fluctuates very, very aggressively, and we see massive value gaps form. So with that being said, what I'm looking for is the test. I will not be accumulating Mara if it comes down into the support area because I want to use this as a test to see how healthy the structure really is. The 120 moving average also overlaps nicely at around 1775. So the idea here is to wait to see if if it goes up and breaks 20, then all of the overall swing trade positions I've been talking about in this video for a while, with accumulation being here. I mean, we had some really nice swing trades like accumulation, take profit, value gap, accumulation, extension, take profit, accumulation, and then this is the overall take profit area. And I kept telling you guys too, as we were still trading within the accumulation, locking in a portion of your trades within this value gap overlapping with the retracement is a good idea because there is a lot of resistance pressure within this area. That's why we haven't seen Mara continue to rally, on top of the reasons I already said. But that's more reasons on why we're not seeing Mara really break over this area, and it's just continuing to use this ascending resistance line as resistance. We continue to see this. It's more likely that we'll come down and retrace if the value gap, if the retracement is enough, because the RSI is going to be quite discounted if it comes down into this area. But the idea is, are we going to have enough health or value here to hold it and actually push the price back up into this, not just to 20, but back up into this resistance area? So the idea there is like, there's nothing wrong with it, with taking some small long trades here just to capture another test of this ascending resistance. But if you do, your stop loss has to be super aggressive. Like there's nothing wrong with going into this area and then using the overall retracement and then using like 1650 to 17 as a good stop loss. But the idea is that if there is enough momentum here, we should find support here. I'm not really expecting that. And even if we do, I really don't expect this ascending resistance to be broken sustainably. So the idea here is just caution. There's a lot of FOMO in Mara right now as well. And most likely in the short term, we can just see a retracement happen. This is where position sizing is really, really going to matter. Position sizing and understanding the risk involved with this stock. Very easily it can come back down into the 16s, even to the high 15s, mid 15s. It's very, very possible. So position sizing right here, understanding the power of SLs, and then of course risk management, because yes, there is an opportunity to capture longs here to go up into this resistance area. But that's again, that's where risk management comes into play. So I'm not really gonna be messing with this stock too much. I'm still gonna be covering it. But if we can come down in this area and actually show decent potential reversal volume with the 120 moving average overlapping with it, and if the RSI also shows that possibility as well, I may be looking at some small long positions. And as an estimate, like I don't even care. Let's just say it goes down to like 1750 before finding support. To me, because of risk management and understanding the downside potential, due to, again, the the elements pushing this higher with the macroeconomic world right now is just not super sustainable. So I would rather get out early. It's still a decent trade, like 1750 for example, up to there. That's still a 5% upside, even with a conservative TP. I would rather have a conservative take profit than waiting to see if it can go up into this area, especially with Bitcoin potentially. I mean, it's going to have a correction eventually. It could go up higher, but when it does have a correction, this can easily amplify the downside on Mara stock, and we can see a quick gap down into support. It can even briefly break it too. So, I'm just going to be watching this for the most part. And while I'm watching this, I mean, the S&P, there's a decent trade there too. But as I'm watching this, I'm also looking to accumulate Bitcoin when the setup I mentioned earlier is provided. I will not be FOMO'd in right now. The S&P, again, I talked about this in the past, but like this 120 moving average right now is really nice. If we can come back down into it, I would like to take a little bit of a small swing trade on the S&P. And then also, please, like, I mean, do your own research, but keep in mind that the VIX is a great hedging tool, and it may provide some really, really good hedging insurance basically soon. But as long as you use it properly. But just keep an eye. If you guys want to do your research on how to take advantage of the VIX, you can. But I'm waiting on Bitcoin for a proper setup, a non-hyped setup. I'm waiting to see if the S&P can provide another long opportunity. I took advantage of this one. I just sold at a retracement, but I don't really talk about the S&P, so I don't really cover it. And then with Mara stock, I'm waiting to test how healthy support is going to be, because I'm not too confident on this. So I want to let the chart tell me, give me a bit more information on how I exactly want to position myself. I'm more interested in shorts and Mara stock right now than in longs, but I have no problem waiting for a proper setup to present itself. So until that happens, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll update you guys again soon. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. Take care.